Well, hello and welcome to my interview with Roger Sloan. Roger was a winner of the 2011 Western Championship on the Canadian Tour. Most recently, he took the title at the Sun Rivers Resort Pro-Am, an unofficial event on this year's Canadian Tour. Roger, thanks for joining me to discuss the mental strategies that have made you successful on tour.
Good to be here.
Yeah, great. So let's start with goals. What's your process in setting goals? Do you invest more time into your goals beyond just sort of setting them?
Not particularly, no. I have a plan each year. I sit down and assess some of the key accomplishments that I want to essentially accomplish throughout the year, and then I take it a step further when creating goals and finding a way how to achieve those accomplishments is really what my goals are. And for the most part, what it boils down to is what key fundamentals is going to produce the results I want. And so obviously, if you want to win a tournament, I like to take my goals and essentially break it down into what's going to make me successful in accomplishing a tournament win. And for me, it's being focused on each and every shot. So I guess back to your question, at the beginning of the year, I create goals that are making sure that I stay focused and stay committed on each and every shot, and the wins and the money lists and all that those kind of goals all kind of take care of themselves.
Yeah, okay. So, well, that's obviously a very key point for you to be successful on your shots with that level of focus. So, I guess I was going to ask as well, any specific mental goals that you have on a daily or weekly or long-term basis? And, of course, you mentioned, having that focus on each shot. Is there anything beyond that you set on a longer-term basis for mental goals?
Yeah, obviously, my long-term goal is to become a top 20 player in the world. Winning on the PGA Tour, not just getting to the PGA Tour. And so, if that's what I want to achieve, I set my goals. How can I best accomplish in the grand scheme of things? How best can I accomplish what I want to achieve? And for me, it literally boils down to staying focused, staying committed, controlling the things that you can control. And if I commit to that process, I know that I can achieve anything in this game.
Yeah.
Long term and short term.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's great. So, along those lines, I'm always curious how top players learn and improve on the mental side of the game. And, apart from your experience, where do you pick up tips and strategies to improve your mental game and to get that focus and commitment? Or, is there anything in particular there that helps you to be more focused and committed?
I think, to be honest, honesty is a huge element in getting over some mental hurdles. If you can be completely honest with yourself and tell yourself that I was nervous in that situation, or I felt embarrassed in that situation. If you can honestly assess your emotional and mental state at any given time, I think that's what allows you to develop and get better, as you progress in your career. It's just, it's always about gaining experience, and you gain experience each and every golf shot that you hit. But when you assess the situation and when you try to get better, you have to be honest with yourself in assessing the situation, and then you can develop a game plan to get better in those certain situations when they occur again.
Well, that makes sense too. I think, when you're honest, you're facing the situation rather than trying to avoid it or not really addressing it, and certainly that has to put your mind at ease for sure.
Exactly.
The other day, when we spoke, you had mentioned, your perspective on the topic of favorite tee times and liking green speeds that might be one way or another, or favorite holes. Can you kind of elaborate a little on the importance of perspective and your ability to kind of choose how you think about those topics?
Yeah, you really have to be impartial to everything in this game, because you see so many different changing variables from day to day, week to week, even from hole to hole. And it can be easy to tell yourself that you love great conditions, when the green speeds are great, the fairways are trimmed nice, there's no wind, it's 25 Celsius or 85 degrees Fahrenheit. I love those situations. And when you say that, you're going to play well. But when you say you love that, you're basically saying that I don't like when it's windy. I don't like when it has bumpy greens. I think, you want to take as much of the negativity thoughts out about it, and you don't want to think black and white. When you think about tee times and draws, some people say, I love it when I'm Thursday morning, or some guys will say, I love it the Thursday afternoon draw. For me in particular, I'm impartial to it because you're going to have to face every situation. So I look at it as I enjoy the challenge of being first out or being second out on a Thursday afternoon. I enjoy the challenge of making putts on good greens. I love the challenge of making putts on bad greens. I love the challenge of hitting low knockdown shots into the wind. I love being able to go out on a great day and go flag hunting when there's no wind and it's a beautiful day. I think that's what golf is all about. There's so many variables that create an endless amount of challenges for you. You really have to embrace each one instead of partially liking some and coincidentally, subconsciously, you have a negative outlook on other things. I think if you can convince yourself that you like every situation in golf, you're going to perform your best.
Yeah, I think you've made a really good point there, and I think the term free will is kind of what you're describing, and really choosing to think positively about any situation, and regardless of the green speed or your tee time or the windy day that might be there, and like you said, rising to the challenge and sort of taking it on. So good one there. Can you talk a little bit about your pre-shot routine and your thought process there?
Yeah, I think the pre-shot routine for me is it's very critical. I believe that being in a routine, each and every shot just allows we're creatures of habit, really, as human beings. And it just gives yourself the best chance to get comfortable and commit to the shot. For me, I institute a play box and think box, where behind the golf ball, I have an imaginary box where I do all my thinking and where I compute all my numbers and imagine the shot, visualize the shot, feel the shot. And then I have the play box, so when I step into the golf ball and I'm at address, it's simply pulling the trigger. It's reacting to what I thought about in the think box, and I no longer have any thoughts when I'm in the play box. It's separating the two concepts because it plants a seed of doubt when you're thinking in the play box. Did I calculate that number right? Where should my club be at impact? Should I hit the draw or should I hit the fade? And when you're thinking stuff like that, that seed of doubt now conflicts with your commitment to the shot. So it's extremely crucial that you separate the two. For me, I believe you have to have a decent amount of discipline to make sure you do your routine each and every time, you stay committed, and that you never really pull the trigger until you're 100% committed.
It almost sounds like the think box is your conscious thinking about the different, the yardage and whatever might be out there, and the play box, if you will, is more your subconscious trying to turn off your conscious mind and just let it happen. Would that be accurate, or?
I've never thought about it that way, but I will agree that the power of the subconscious mind is something I don't think anybody will ever quite really fathom. The subconscious mind controls the body well, like you wouldn't believe. So, you could be hitting the nail right on the head there. That when you're in the play box, the reactionary move you have, for me, my reactionary move to the number and the shot selection could be a subconscious effort.
Yeah, and I guess that's one thing I was going to ask you as well, is how important is it for you to be reactive in that final part of your routine?
It's been one of the keys of my success over the last year and a half, for sure. I've been trying to make golf as much a reactionary sport as you can. As you probably know, golf, you have so much time to think between shot to shot while you're even over the golf ball.
Yeah.
Anything more than a split second, it's time for your brain to become distracted. So for me, I try to base it like a ping pong game. You don't really have a lot of time to think about how to hit a shot. You just react to what you see, and for me, that just allows my brain to kind of shut off and just freewheel and let the dice roll.
Okay, great. And I guess, just sticking with pre-shot routine, how important is visualization to your success in being able to, shape a shot?
I think visualization is very key for me. I enjoy it because I enjoy the creativeness, imagination. Sorry. I just, I love seeing shots. When I'm in a sticky situation, my first instinct isn't always just to chip it out. I always love to find a shot or find some way of seeing my way out of trouble. And same thing happens in the middle of the fairway. I love to visualize and vision some sort of way of getting the ball close to the hole. And while I do that, I have a lot of fun feeling the golf shot as well. I think golf is really a feel sport, and your hands will often react to the subconscious mind of what you see and feel. So I think visualization and feeling the shot is extremely important.
Okay. So, I think I heard in there you're trying to, in a sense, the visualization, you're connecting that at the same time with a feeling in your hands, did you say?
Yeah. It's such a... I don't know, can't think of the word right now. It's such a natural thing for me to do that I don't really actually ever think about.
Yeah.
We're talking about right now. It's just kind of, as I reflect back on how I go through my pre-shot routine, I guess that's how the dots are connected. But I guess I just have the ability to feel that shot as well. When you see the lower flight, I can just feel it in my hands how it has to happen in order for that ball to do what I'm visualizing. I really think that helps in the creativeness and imagination is having that trust and confidence that you can hit that shot that you're seeing.
Yeah, and I don't know if we'll ever really fully understand how you go from seeing a shot to actually feeling it and then hitting the shot that's in your mind, and certainly we don't need to try and necessarily figure that out, but in reality it sounds like that's what happens, is that you take that vision and you kind of translate it physically and feeling it, and then it sort of happens kind of thing. So
yeah,
that's great.